Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, this is Daybreak Africa on KAFTAN TV Ondo State. I am Kareen Edet. So on our today's episode, we'll be considering 75,000 Naira cash transfer to 15 million Nigerian household as launched by the federal government. And we have in the house a political analyst by the name Alexander Omojadegbe. And we trust that today he will do justice to this topic. Good to have you in the studio, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to Daybreak Africa once again. I think it's been a while.
It's been a while. How are you?
I'm doing just great, just great. And so far, how's the government treating you?
Fine.
Indeed. Talking about eradicating poverty, I mean, the entire 75,000 to 15 million families actually came from the National Day for Eradicating Poverty in the world, and then coming up with such an idea. There's something about this administration. Personally, I think they are so much invested in palliative, dishing out funds. It's about 7,000 today, 4,000 tomorrow, 15,000 next tomorrow, and today we are having 75,000 across a period of 3 months. What's your take on the palliative dishing out so far?
Thank you very much for bringing me on board on this particular topic. I think I just want to believe it's a government that has no direction. It's a government that has no direction, because come to think of it, you are giving a whole family 25,000 for 3 months. Will that eradicate poverty? Will that eradicate poverty? Money that are supposed to be used on infrastructure. Even we have short-term investment in infrastructure that you can get results in a short while. They don't have direction. That's just the simple way I can put it.
Let's talk about the level of poverty in Nigeria. Right. Just how dreaded is the situation of poverty in Nigeria comparable to other developing countries or other West African countries?
It's so alarming. So alarming. And what I do tell people is that it's like the government wants to impoverish some other people who are not so poor before. For instance, some people that have been using cars, in fact, they have 2 cars, 3 cars. Some of them, they have reduced to the extent of using bike, because of the high cost of petroleum. So the poverty index is really increasing in Nigeria, more especially in the last 2-3 months.
What can you say to be your indicator to actually prove this poverty index is quite increasing?
Yes, we live in the community and we know the level of I want us to come back to the grassroots.
Okay.
We have parents, mother and father with 4 kids. The total income of the family maybe around 100,000 in some family, and I don't somebody taking 100,000 in the family, both husband and wife taking their take home to be 100,000. You can't tell me they are rich. They are poor. But presently the money has not increased, but most of the things they are buying in the market has increased. Everything have increased. So there is no way everybody sees it. Everybody sees it. The poverty level is increasing on daily basis.
Okay, so now some persons are of the opinion that to an extent, it will cope a little of what you are going through, but some persons are of the opinion that it is not sustainable. So to you, what do you think in this regard, or are there other ways that we can, because I think this is just like meeting an urgent need, which some persons are of the opinion that yes, it's quite okay to do so, but to you, what would you think in this regard?
To me, there are other things that can be used as palliative. Look at what Oyo State government is doing. Oyo State government bought buses, put it on the street for people to pay less in transportation. You may be civil servant, you may be trader, you are entitled to that. bus. You enter the bus with lower amount. So that one is better than giving people, because I believe they are using this money, their cash, this thing to settle some people, because the money will not even go down to the poor people. It will not go down. It will only go when you want to give 100 people. Hardly can you see 20% of the beneficiary that will receive the money. Hardly. So it's to benefit some political class too.
I think to actually worry as the statistics put in place, actually know that 15 million families, and then, like you said, appropriate measures so as that money to actually get to them. Do you think so far statistics are actually adequate? You know, they spoke about using NIN and using a BVN for soil distribution, but do you really think it's really going to achieve that aim? Or
they won't achieve anything. They won't achieve anything. Giving 25,000 naira. Even the family that I've used as an example of having about 100,000 as their take home, add that 25,000 to it, 125,000. It will not do anything. It will not help them. More so is just for 3 months. Not that they are going to be paying them for life. Instead of them to find a way of this particular money, they can use it, they can invest, they can put it in government parastatals and get more workers there. There are a lot of things. They can put it in our refinery and start. Let's focus on one. Let's think of one in the next 3 months. Put all this money for palliative, put it there, so that we just have this petrol. You know, petrol is something that connects everybody together. Everybody. You can decide to use gas. I may decide to use firewood. You can decide to use stove. I can decide to use burning this hot plate.
yes.
But in case of petroleum, if you don't use it directly, you are using it indirectly. So there is no way they don't reduce this cost of petroleum. Things will not really they won't get it right.
Are you talking about bringing back subsidy?
They said subsidy. This our present president was one of the people that against subsidy in 2011. That said nothing like subsidy. They are only sharing money to certain cabals. Now they are there now. They don't face that cabals. They don't know okay, there is subsidy. We believe there is subsidy. If there is subsidy, is to remove subsidy, you should know the actual time to remove the subsidy. Not at entrance that you don't know anything about governance or what is going on with the federal level. You just put in that bomb of removing subsidy.
Well, I think he has been in governance, being the governor, being a senator, so it's more like I believe nothing is new, and he was quite close to the previous president, Buhari.
Yes.
And so I believe hitting the ground running, in his words, from the very first day, it seems to be understandable. But the thing is, as to the direction at which we're going, do you think we actually, in order to actually build a home, there has to be a certain level of destruction first, and that's actually have a palatable, beautiful building. And don't you think maybe this is the period where we have our little bit of destruction so as to have a better infrastructure at the end?
My brother, if you want to correct a structure, a building, and a building that people are living there, you don't need to destroy the whole house for you to get a new structure. There are ways in which you find a way of doing it. People will be there, and you'll be restructuring, you'll be doing the construction, and by the time you come out with it, you get a very good result. Not for you to destroy the whole thing. Very many people are losing their life because of the current situation.
Okay, so sorry. So this cash transfer scheme, I mean, when I went through it, it's majorly to help the vulnerable, give them an improved lifestyle. So far, how has it been? Because I mean, we heard of the 8,000 naira palliative previously, and I mean, it was reviewed, and afterwards, probably nothing was heard. And here is 75,000 for a period of 3 months, and the cash transfer scheme is set to improve the life of the vulnerable, I quote. And here we are. I mean, what do you think about this? Are we actually meeting the main mission behind establishing this scheme, or is just a way to
they can never meet it? We have heard of trader money during Buhari's regime. We've heard of different kind of throwing out our resources anyhow. We've heard about what former Minister for Humanitarian this thing, the trillion that said he has distributed on the street. They are just embezzling this money. The money will not go to the right people, and if it eventually gets to the right people, these right people, how much is 25,000 naira for God's sake per month? That you have 75. Even if they are going to give them once 75,000, it's only maybe some of them that are doing petty trading. But this 25,000, a senator, I am not a member of APC, but I just want to give kudos to one of the senators in Ondo South here. He had about 60 something aides. He said he will be giving them 50,000 every month, and he gave them advance of 6 months, making 300,000. You understand? That 300,000 will do something in the life of individual that have collected it. You understand? So, but telling them you want to give them 50,000 every month, what will you do? What will you do? Not to talk of this 25,000 that they are talking about.
So now, speaking of the vulnerable still, the Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, he made mention that some money will be disbursed, and then we talk about the issue of the register. Now, the question was asked that, is it the register the old president, that's Buhari, used to meet these people? Because, I mean, how will we get to the vulnerable? How will we know that these are the people we will meet? So, is it the old register they are using, or is there a new register that we are going to use to meet these people, and who are they per se?
My sister, this money will never get to anywhere. The most vulnerable, they don't have BVN, they don't have account number, they don't have account in any bank. The most vulnerable, I'm talking of the most vulnerable. If they are talking of the most vulnerable, they are street urchins. They don't have account anywhere. Even they don't, many of them do not register for NIN, because it's only when you want to do something, when you want to, maybe you want to do primary 6 exam, JSS3, that they ask of NIN, those that are in school. If you want to register something, you want to get your international passport, they ask for NIN. These people, they don't have anything doing with NIN. They don't have BVN. And they said the condition of giving them this money is BVN, is NIN. How will they get to the most vulnerable? Maybe you can answer that.
It's more like you really don't believe this present administration has anything good to offer whatsoever. You really sound pessimistic.
It is not good. I will never support it. It can never go to anywhere.
So how best do you think they should actually tackle the situation of poverty in Nigeria, instead of maybe dishing out cash or funds?
There is one way Yoruba calls this thing. Je kinje. When I eat, I give you to eat. I am a commissioner. You are my PA. My PA, I pay my PA. My PA pays another people. You understand? You, at the end of the day, it moves around like that. That is what they should think of. It is not for them to say, okay, this we are getting millions of naira from those that are embezzling. You know, people that are embezzling money, they don't even spend it again. They don't spend it again, and some of them don't take it to bank. They don't want people to know. But if it were of old, even if you embezzle money, you allow the money to move around. You spend the money. Other people will get something. If you want to build a house, you contact local bricklayers, carpenters, and eat. These are the people that will give back to the poor of the poorest. Not you telling us from federal government you want to go to the poor of the poorest. You can't get there. And with the system they want to use, there is no way they will not have a kind of stock on the way. The political class. Getting, you know, I saw something yesterday. Some politicians who wants to be governor of Ondo State, they started branding federal government palliative in their own name. In their own name. What do you call that? So there is no way federal government from federal can get to the poor of the poorest. Presently, they have destroyed local government. Local government is a government that is very close to the people. They, on their level, can go to the poor of the poorest. When they get to the poor of the poorest, what are they expected to do for them? Some of them are petty traders. These 20,000 naira you are talking about, if they have it, some of them can go to the village and get things, buy things, bring it to their own local market and sell. But these people, they don't use bank, they don't have BVN, they don't have NIN, they don't have anything. It is when they go to their market, get their things and sell whatever things, whatever change they have, they use it to eat. They are not taking any money to the bank.
So I'm sorry to cut you. Now, in this regard, is the federal government at fault or the people? Because I mean, the federal government have been asking that persons register for their NIN and BVN, and here we are speaking about people not having BVN and NIN. So at this point, is it the federal government's fault or the people's fault?
I want to throw the question back to you. Where is the point of registering BVN?
That's why you are here to answer, I guess.
I want you to answer that. It's bank. And they don't take money to bank. What do they need BVN for? If you want them to register for BVN, take BVN to their marketplaces. They will register. It is only bank, because every one of them will ask you, when they were doing NIN, they will tell you what is going to be the benefit. You know, they started this NIN during Obasanjo's regime. They were doing it very many ways. We don't want to do. Only few people did it then. But now it's becoming popular. So, some of our schools, some of our private schools, they brought the NIN, the officers to come and register children under that scheme, NIN. BVN, if you want them to have BVN, take it to market, take it to their farms, let them register there, not bank, because some of them, they will still tell you they don't have any business doing with bank. That is the reason why most of them were badly affected with Emefiele's policies the other time, that you have to change your money. Come and see farmers. Farmers were bringing money to the bank without having an account. Sir, it is not that you are going to change this money, you are going to deposit this money to your account, but we don't have account. Very many of them. So how will you explain to them that BVN is necessary when they don't have account?
Okay, so earlier on you made mention of petty traders. I mean, this 25,000 could be of help. From what you said earlier, they could use it to buy one or two things to probably fix their products. Now, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, that's Betta Edu, he made mention that that further measures will be put in place to provide soft loans of 50,000 to petty traders. I mean, do you think this is a good measure, and would it help these people to a certain extent?
It will help them, but I so much believe that this money will not get to them, because they have already put hindrances on their way to get the loan. They've talked about NIN, BVN. So that means before they give them the loan, they have to go to bank and register for BVN. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not going to get down to those that really need the money. It will only stop on a level.
Let's talk about our political structure and leadership system in Nigeria and Africa. It's more like African political system. It's quite unique and peculiar just to each other. What tends to be different from our system comparable to the Western world? It seems more like they are more advanced. But when it comes to our democratic system, our political system, we are literally crawling. Is it more like we don't have the best leadership at hand, or we are just not ready for democracy per se?
What I can say in this is that we have not really practiced that democracy the way it should be practiced. Democracy is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. But they have changed it to a certain people. They have put a clause there, an adjective there. It is not for the people again, it's for certain people. It's a government that we should go to the poll and vote for whoever that we like. But most often, it is the Supreme Court that will give us governor. It is the Supreme Court that will give us who we did not vote for. So, if we get it right, if we get that electoral system right, I think we will get our democracy right. That's the area I can really dwell on.
When it comes to Nigeria, I think to one that in making decisions, leadership decisions, is it do we actually use dignity of humans, dignity of individuals as a compass in making decisions generally, or maybe just if you just sit down and then just decide what actually profit them, and then there we go?
They don't use the dignity has nothing in Nigeria system, because you will have seen what is transpiring, what is going on between the three political gladiators in the last presidential election. Look at what we are hearing. Chicago. Look at this. There are a lot of things. I think maybe on TV like this, there are some things that we have to share, not to talk about. There's no dignity. There's no dignity.
Now, if you ask me, I think this transition tends to be collective decision making. I would dare to say he actually seems to be, should I say, a listening president. Because I believe the moments where he would actually, dish out certain decisions he believed are actually better for the country, and then maybe after 2 or 3 days, hearing from Nigerians, he most likely would maybe have an overturn, have a rethink, and then try to restructure. Now, don't you think this is more like what we need, a listening president that we hear the people's cry, and then even after making a decree or a say, he listened to the people and their adjustments. Considering what happened in the 1st of October speech, he made, and then when people were, shouting as to that, he came back and they, had to do readjustment. Don't you think it's more like steadying us towards the right direction as the president? And it's been a while actually had the president actually listen.
He listens, but I don't really like his system of governance. He listens more especially when people talk more especially on social media, before election, he said he doesn't watch social media. He doesn't use any of the social media handles that because they can kill you with their protests and the rest like that. But we discovered he listens, but he's not prepared. He's not prepared to govern. To govern. He's not prepared.
Why do you say so?
That.
Yes, I think we have seen 3 cases of people nominated in error to his cabinet, either to to minister, to SA, and the rest.
Nominated in error.
After announcing the person, he will now come back after 2 days that they have already removed the name of the person, that they are going to announce another person. It is lack of preparation, because if you ask every state to give you, okay, give me 10 SA, special assistant or special advisor or senior special assistant, give me. It is normal that you meet them first. Look at a 24-year-old guy that he appointed last week. After 3 days, he removed him. I don't know the position they are going to give him. How will you appoint a 24-year-old man? With what experience? What type of position? You can appoint 24-year-old man, but look at whatever appointment you are going to give the person. The present Minister for Interior was formerly given Minister for Blue and this economy. And after a week, they were telling him, this one is too young to handle a new ministry like that. He got something. He changed the portfolio to Interior. It's lack of preparation. You have to meet these people. What do you have in stock? You have to, you yourself, not representative. You have to, that's the reason why you are there. You call them. Okay, you have given me names. Okay, collect the name. Send message to all the people. Let them come. How many are they? Are they more than 100? That you cannot interview them one-on-one to know the level they are before announcing the appointment. So it's just lack of preparation in my own view.
Okay, so back to the issue of poverty eradication.
Okay.
I mean, it's something that might likely continue or will always continue, because I mean the thought of eradicating poverty completely from Nigeria, I mean, it's still something that makes one think amiss. So I mean, how? Because human needs are insatiable. Yeah. So even if we give them this today, tomorrow they will need another. So I mean, what's more sustainable measures can the federal government put in place? Okay, aside the cash transfer, you said, okay, it's not really sustainable. So what's, I mean, more sustainable measures can the federal government put in place that can curb this menace for at least a longer term than just the short-term measures we see?
Let federal government work on the local government. Let our local government be more effective. That is the only government that is very close to the people. Local government is the government of the people. It's government that people can see. People will see their chairman, they see their councillors. They know them, they know their houses. They know impoverished people, they know the poor of the poorest. You understand what I'm saying? So these are the people, let federal government empowers local government more. Let federal government empower local government. Let them not channel whatever they want to give local government through state again. They should be dealing with local government directly. It is local government that can settle all this menace of poverty.
No.
And we really hope we will come to a certain stop when it comes to issue of poverty in Nigeria. Thank you once again for joining us on Daybreak Africa.
Thank you so much.
All right, viewers, you have it all. At this point, handing over to the studio, we'll have so much more for you to have a wonderful day today. I remain Ezekiel Ogar.
And until next time, I'm Kareen Edet.